All right, I just got done wrapping up the season finale for P Valley, technically episode 8, called Murder Night. This was rather interesting. I kind of didn't see some of this coming. Other parts, it was obvious, pretty obvious. So let's get into it. So, continuing from the last episode, Montrose interrogates Haley as to the whereabouts of his money. She took 250,000 from him. She tries to escape, but he begins to strangle her. Mind you, they're all in the paradise room, and he lets her go. She begins to dance for him to avoid detection, because there's cameras in the paradise room. Murda and Miss Mississippi perform. The A&R is watching, but he's looking at Ms. Mississippi as opposed to Lil Murda. Mercedes is dancing for the coach. She propositions him for $10,000 to help her to get a new gym. He wants part ownership, and he's married, by the way. And he makes a reference that his wife knows. He wants to take care of Mercedes, and he's like, my wife knows. The A&R is impressed, but wants Ms. Mississippi and Murda as a tandem, while Derek is her baby daddy, is trying to get her attention. Autumn then takes off her top against company policy. Remember, in the last episode, they placed an ordinance on the pink that no one could be topless. Mercedes has the missing persons flyer of Haley sent to her through a courier from Maine. Maine, played by Thomas Jones, I believe. Maine is locked back up again because he was taking off his ankle bracelet and giving it to his cousin so he can roam around free. But apparently the cousin went to go rob a Popeye's chicken or something like that. So now Maine is back in jail. Mercedes goes looking for Clifford to warn him about what's going on in the paradise room. Big L, the accountant, goes to meet Gidget's boyfriend to get the Oxycontin shipment. The A&R asks Murda if he's authentic, and his buddy Wody is just kind of in the cut looking at him crazy because he knows Murda's secret. The A&R offers him a 360 deal. Clifford then walks in and Murda tells him he's handling business because Clifford places his hand on his shoulder and he doesn't even look at Clifford. He's like, yo, we handling business. So then he walks out. The A&R offers to manage both of them. Back at the Paradise Room, one of Autumn's associates that helped her set up one of her business accounts gave him the info on the Telex accounts, which is how Montavious was able to track her down. Montavious threw him over a hotel balcony, and before he died, he told him what he did. She then accuses him of being married to his gang, which is a fraternity. It's called the Delta Devoted. Mercedes barges her way into the Paradise Room. Clifford then returns to his office upset. Clifford sends Diamond to the Paradise Room because he sees what's happening on the camera. After seeing Mercedes and Autumn in the Paradise Room, Murda goes to Clifford's office to apologize. Clifford is irate. He says it was a privilege to know LaMarcus because he showed him Lil Murda the first time. So he goes on with the saying, always believe what a person shows you the first time. Okay? And so then Clifford tells him to leave and to only come back when he's ready. The A&R tells Ms. Mississippi he can get her to Nike through a 360. Darren is now hounding Ms. Mississippi. The A&R calls Darren a customer. Darren responds saying he ain't no fucking customer. Wody, Murda's guy, asks the A&R, who do you want? He says, because you've been looking at Ms. Mississippi the whole time and not paying no attention to Murda. He says, and then he responds, he says, the A&R says Murda is a dime a dozen, but Ms. Mississippi can be a black Barbie. Wody tells the A&R it's Murda or nothing. Darren then threatens Ms. Mississippi and tells her to come home. Montavious tells Mercedes to leave, then Autumn tells her to leave. Mercedes then breaks a champagne bottle and attempts to stab Montavious with the broken handle. He then reverses the situation and has the broken bottle to Mercedes' neck. Montavious reveals he's a lieutenant for the Delta Devoted. Haley has a flashback of a gun being pointed to her forehead. She then tells Montavious the money's at the club. Autumn goes to her locker to get the money and then notices her gun is missing. Autumn then goes to her car in an attempt to leave. Clifford is looking for Big L. Diamond confronts Derek in the bathroom. He refers to them as gutter niggers. Clifford sees what's happening in the Paradise Room. Clifford grabs a gun. Autumn returns to the Paradise Room and gives him the money. Autumn reveals to him that her daughter had died in the during the flood. She was a single mom, and Montavious brought her in, moved her in, and took care of her and the daughter. Diamond and Derek begin to fight. The fight spills out into the club. Gunshots ring out. Autumn and Mercedes jump Montavious. Clifford bursts in the room. Diamond is getting the best of Derek. Ms. Mercedes pulls a gun on Derek and tells him to get off him. Are we not surprised? Abuse victims, can't stand to see their abuser get beat up. So we're not surprised. Which I think it was smart to put that in there, because that's pretty much the reality for a lot of abuse victims, and mainly Black America, because a lot of times you try to intervene and save or rescue an abused woman, and she, more times than not, will take the side of her abuser. Okay, another shot is heard. More shots are heard. Diamond goes to investigate. Then he sees blood coming through the underneath the door sill. The next day, the Pink goes up for auction. Clifford and his grandmother Ernestine, they're all dressed in black, and they're all going down to the courthouse to the bidding. Mercedes is battered and bruised. She goes to see Sister Woodbine at her church. She asks, is God the God of second chances? And then Sister Woodbine says of thirds, fourths, and fifths. But she says, go talk to your God on this one. I'm dead to you, remember? So she shuns Mercedes. An act of retribution. Mercedes breaks down and begs for her mama. She's banging on the door. She won't let her in. The dancers, all dressed in black, go down to the courthouse for the auction. Autumn and Andre began bidding on the Pink. She offers $200,000. Andre's limit is $200,000. He's only allowed to bid $200,000 for the building. Andre has to get on the phone to ask permission from Bill to go over the $200,000. Mayor Ruffin then ups the ante to $215,000. Andre gets on the phone to get permission to go over the $200,000. Autumn then bids $250,000. Andre hangs up the phone. Mayor Ruffin is upset. Autumn then dumps the money out on the floor as proof that she has the money in hand. Because Mayor Ruffin goes on a spiel saying, hey, you know how the auctions work, you gotta have money in hand. And so she dumps the money on the floor. Andre tells Bill they lost the Pink. Clifford and Autumn are now partners. Ernestine, Clifford, and Haley are all at the Pink. Haley says she saved the club because she owed Clifford and now he owes her. Mercedes shows up at the club. So season 2, the Pink, more adventures from the Pink. And Mercedes, unfortunately, will not be able to quit dancing and get her gym like she originally wanted. So kind of bittersweet. So obviously we have the ascending of Haley and the lowering, or the lowering of Mercedes. So you got the young pup has come into her own, and the old dog is pretty much falling on hard times. So now that the positions have reversed, Mercedes being the alpha at one point, now Haley is the alpha. So that should still play out in the season 2. I think there should be more on that. I don't know. So that was the season finale, episode 8, Murder Night of P Valley. Peace.